welcome to my channel again. I'm TGS, and here we're discussing anything and everything horror, sci-fi related, or even anime and manga. And for today's topic, we're discussing Dragon Ball, specifically the OG Dragon Ball. Here I have in front of me volumes from 10 to 15, and of course it's the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament and the King Piccolo saga, leading up to the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. The King Piccolo saga might be seriously my most favorite saga of the entire series. Of course, Dragon Ball, love it or hate it, it has always been this sensation, talking about you constantly having to constantly push your limits even further beyond whatever happens. So for today's topic, I picked something, and of course, along the way, I'll be picking more of those because I don't have the entire manga. I got into reading the actual manga after having watched the anime for so many years. Have been watching the anime for so many years. I just got quite fairly recently into buying these because honestly, I never really searched for them. I kind of happened onto a stand at a Comic-Con having those, and I just decided to get them because that's my most favorite saga. And reading them, I had this idea of making videos like this. And of course, you're free to leave any suggestions down there. But of course, today we're talking about a very specific event that happens in the King Piccolo saga. And that is why Tien did not die after using the mafuba versus King Piccolo. Well, technically he didn't use it versus King Piccolo, he used it versus Drum, but that was the intention. Okay, and along the way I'll be sipping my coffee because I consider these ones to be really relaxing for me, relaxing videos. Amazing. So, Tien is a character that's introduced to us for the very first time in the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. For me, while Tien was relevant, he was possibly the best written character in Dragon Ball. And I know what most people are going to say, Dragon Ball doesn't have really, really good written characters. At least it doesn't have characters with lots of depth, they're simplistic characters. And, that's okay. I agree with you, but the way Tien is written fits so beautifully into this universe, into his surroundings, the people that surround him, and the lore of Dragon Ball that, for me, he's really nicely written. He's a well-written character. So I love seeing this guy. You would all love seeing this guy if you have watched, especially if you have watched the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament and then leading up to the King Piccolo saga. The way this character is portrayed, from being a smug antagonist to a really honorable martial artist. And, well, today, again, we're talking about this technique that's introduced in Dragon Ball in the King Piccolo saga, and it's Master Roshi that first starts talking about it. A technique which actually turns your opponent into a different form, into a form of energy, something like a vapor-like, and thus enabling you to seal them into some kind of means that, closes on top, like a bottle, or in this case, comically enough, into a rice cooker, which, after all these years, I don't feel this is a non-typical situation. That's actually quite typical for Akira Toriyama, God bless his soul, because he always mixes things into the lore of Dragon Ball and in general, I think, about food, making everything about food. So it's a rice cooker that is used for the very first time to seal King Piccolo, and the one who did this, the one who sealed King Piccolo using this technique, was Master Roshi's martial arts teacher, Mutaito. So this guy created this technique as an answer to King Piccolo being actually unstoppable. And that's explained in both the manga and anime. And it's basically shown that Master Mutaito would not be able to handle, even him being, like, at the time, the strongest martial artist in the world, he wasn't able to handle King Piccolo on his own. So he had to come up with something different. He went up to solitude, away from the rest of the people, and he created this technique which enabled him to use it versus King Piccolo and seal him into a rice cooker. But there's a huge but in this one, and that's why I love this technique and all the other techniques in Dragon Ball. It has a huge drawback. It actually makes you sacrifice your life in the process. So Master Mutaito used it, sacrificed his life to save the people of Earth from the evil that was called Demon King Piccolo. Master Roshi is the one who narrates this, and of course you later on learn that Master Roshi also knows how to use this technique. But what happens, you've watched the anime, most of you have read the manga, so you know that Tien Shinhan masters that technique as well. He goes and trains and uses the same rice cooker that Master Roshi tried to use versus King Piccolo, and I'm guessing it's no spoiler that he fails and dies. And this is why I like the King Piccolo saga so much, because it's dark. It's dark. I think it's the point where it gets too dark. There are instances in Dragon Ball, even in OG Dragon Ball, like Kid Goku being able to exterminate an entire army on his own. That's quite dark as well. Like, think all the body count. But this is dark. Like, this is a situation where you have no Dragon Balls no more. Goku's best friend is dead. Master Roshi is dead. Everything looks grim. You don't know where you're going after that. So it's like high stakes. It doesn't feel like it's an anime or a manga with no repercussions, like people like to call Dragon Ball nowadays. Oh, you can just wish them back. No, that was out of the question at this point of the story. So Tien Shinhan goes and challenges, and his plan A was, of course, the only plan he had, basically, not plan A, to master that technique and use it versus King Piccolo. And he does master the mafuba, the evil containment wave. So he goes on ahead and tries to stop King Piccolo, but he messes up in the process because Piccolo creates this minion, and he basically gets in the way of the mafuba, so Tien Shinhan misses that shot. He uses it on Drum instead, that minion that King Piccolo creates. And while doing that, at the same time, King Piccolo destroys the rice cooker, which, Piccolo, you must be dumb. Like, maybe this is the very first thing you should have done when you saw Master Roshi pull out this rice cooker. And I know that's initially a shock, but aren't you supposed to be this really powerful guy that you're supposed to destroy it with one finger, death beam the hell out of it before even Frieza was a thing? Come on, be serious. So he uses it on Drum instead. Tien Shinhan uses the mafuba on Drum. He fails. The rice cooker gets destroyed in the process by King Piccolo. And yet, Tien Shinhan is left standing. And when I watched the anime and I saw that scene, of course I was more than happy to see that he didn't get to sacrifice his life. And at the same time, I was, because I was a dumb kid, I was afraid and thinking, oh my God, we can't let this guy die. He's so cool. So after watching the anime, I started thinking, why didn't he die? Why didn't he die? And a couple of things came to mind. First of all, Tien Shinhan is shown to be just built different. That's one thing. In the World Martial Arts Tournament, in the final fight versus Goku, he's shown to use the Tri-Beam for the very first time. And actually, it's Master Roshi in a panel explaining that this is a life-threatening technique, a really powerful, a really dangerous technique that feeds on your life force, thus making it really like a double-edged sword for its user. You could actually die. And in that sense, the mafuba is kind of similar in that aspect, in the meaning that you're using your life force to use that technique. So the first thing that I thought was that just Tien was built different, and he would possibly be able to pull that off without sacrificing his life in the process, maybe shortening his lifespan, but other than that, he would just be fine. And then again, I thought another thing. Maybe, just maybe, there's an analogy while using that technique. Him being able to shield King Piccolo himself might have used more of his life force, so it was drastically different versus using it against Drum, yeah, he's shown in the anime to be a great deal stronger than Tien Shinhan, but not so much for him not to be able to fight back. So, yeah, he was stronger, but not in the same sense that King Piccolo was much, much, much stronger than almost any other character aside from Goku at this point. So, maybe it's partially that, that Tien is built different. Maybe it's because of Drum getting in the way, which is what's said in the English translation of King Piccolo, saying that Drum's involvement saved my life and maybe yours in the process, at least for a little bit. I think that's what he says in the English translation. And, well, of course, there's also another thing. There's the thing that this never actually happens. Yeah, Tien Shinhan never uses the mafuba versus either Drum or King Piccolo. And this is the part where I love the most because I found out when I read the manga. So, if you have been watching all this time, having read the manga, you probably thought I was stupid. And if you have been watching this just by having watched the anime, I think now maybe, just maybe, your mind is blown because this never happens in the manga. Tien, yes, masters the mafuba, the evil containment wind, and that's his plan, to get that rice cooker and go ahead and stop King Piccolo because before he goes to destroy West City. So that's his plan. That's his only plan, to sacrifice his life and save everyone and just seal King Piccolo away, which is a very valiant thing. But I think what happens in the manga makes him look and feel even more valiant in my eyes. And that's because just before he lands in front of King's castle to confront King Piccolo, he realizes that the damn rice cooker is broken. Exactly. That while trying to master this technique, the rice cooker broke and had a hole in it, so he wasn't going to be able to use it versus King Piccolo. So at this point, his only plan was to just lay down his life and maybe, just maybe, take some of King Piccolo's time, just as enough as he might have needed at this point, to make it possible for people in West City to be able to evacuate. And that, in my eyes, going for a battle that you can't win, just to spare more lives in the process, it sounds amazingly valiant, in my opinion. Some might argue that, well, you should have lived to fight another day, being the fact that Tien Shinhan is actually shown to have great potential in both manga and the anime. Yeah, but at this point, you have to think on the spot, and the things that he thought first, probably, because that's the only good thing that could come out of it, is giving more time to the people of West City to just evacuate. And that is valiant, in my opinion. In this arc, forget about Goku. Sorry, man. And your fight with King Piccolo was just epic. But Tien Shinhan is our man here. Tien Shinhan is the mentality of a warrior, of a true warrior, that knows he's going into a battle, oh my god, with those motorcycles. He's going on into a battle that he just knows there's zero possibilities for him to win. And he then, even like that, goes on ahead and tries to fight King Piccolo. So in the manga, he never tries to do that. He just realizes just before the fight, oh my god, the rice cooker is damn broken. I'm still gonna fight him. So the rest of the thing, there just goes pretty much the same like in the anime. And having said that, I will also make some videos discussing the differences of the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament and basically it begins the volumes that I have from the end of Baba's tournament up to the point of somewhere in I think up to the semifinals of the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. So I've read the entire thing. Of course, I remember the manga more or less. So I'll be more than happy to make videos or video of the differences of the pacing and various other things, little tidbits like this one on, of course, manga versus the anime. So that was our video for today. Why didn't Tien Shinhan not die? Why did he not die after using the mafuba in his fight with King Piccolo? Well, yeah, short answer, and that would make this video useless in terms of its existence. The short answer was, well, he never did it. He never used it, like in the manga. But in the anime, where he's shown to use it, even in the context of the anime itself, it kind of makes different later on because it makes sense. It kind of makes sense later on because we also see Kami using it versus Junior, and it didn't have any repercussions to his life force. And also, like Piccolo Junior reflected it, also no repercussions to his life force. So it has to do also something that the power levels must be relevant, somewhere. Into this equation. So, guys, if you have stayed this long to me rambling about Dragon Ball, and if you want to see more than like that, press like and subscribe. It helps this channel grow. If you like seeing stuff like this one, well, I'll leave the link down in the description for my other channel where I play various video games. And as for me, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.